Always check in with yourself and go, is there a part of me that's so scared that I'm avoiding the launch? And I'm speaking from experience. I have avoided launch dates. I have avoided talking about things because I was so scared to talk about it because I was finally doing it, that the part of me that was scared was like frantic for anything. Whenever I spoke on the stage at Envision in Costa Rica, there was some shit going down in my personal life outside of the whole Envision experience. And that you better believe there was a very loud voice that was like, tell them you cannot make it on that stage. Both times, I spoke twice. And both times because I had never spoken in front of that many people before. I had never, like, especially without prep, like I did not prepare for these workshops. And it was all going on like flow, right? With like topics at hand. But there's a part of us where eventually we have to go, I'm going to do this anyways. You almost have to prove to that part of you that's so fucking scared, like, no, I'm going to do this anyways. And because of my past, I am a self-sabotage. Okay. I was a self-sabotaging person, whether that was relationships or opportunities, definitely business and money. So whenever like a small tiny thing would come up, I would create so much stress around the thing. Because I have habits of self-sabotage, I make it a point. Whenever Rhama is scared to do something, in a way, I force myself to do it. I force myself to do it because I refuse to let fear win in my life. I refuse to let fear tell me I'm not getting on that stage. I'm not launching that course. I'm not going to do that thing. So, and this is obviously different for everyone, but if you have self-sabotaging habits where fear overtakes you and you have a tendency to self-betray or self-sabotage, you must show up on your launch date, regardless of what's going on. You must show up on that stage or for those clients or whatever. And this is not something that I've learned, like it just all of a sudden, this is how Rhama was. Because I was shifting from chaos, I had to continually face chaos through my business, and I had to continually make that choice. No, I'm showing up anyways. No, I'm showing up anyways. And the more I did that, the less the thing was chaos. It became something small. And then it wasn't chaos at all. And then it was like, oh my gosh, this thing is so small. Of course I can handle it. Of course I'm showing up on that live. Of course I'm showing up for my clients. You feel what I'm saying? So, and I also feel like life kind of prepared me for being a coach, because I've had self-sabotaged in so many ways in the past that I've definitely learned these skills prior to coaching. But of course, they still live in me, like getting on that stage and Envision. So thank you for saying that, because it triggered something in me to show up and make sure that you're not making an excuse to do the thing that you're scared to do. Because the first time we launch anything, we're scared. The first time, right, like there's all this, there's this like pressure and energy around, is it going to work? Is it going to be enough? Is the content going to be enough? Is it even going to help the people? And you've got all these questions. And so this fear is sitting in the back of your head. And sometimes we will use any tiny little thing to shy away from it. Astrology, this totally falls in. I love astrology. I love tarot cards. I love all the wisdom and guidance that's out there for Rhama, but I never, ever, ever let anything tell me that I can't have what I want, that something can't go well for me because the stars are unsupportive during that time, or the tarot card said that the relationship isn't going to work. I'm like, for me, I view those things and I go, that's interesting. And overall, I like to once again, a reflection thing. And I go, what part of me doesn't want to move forward? Or when something wild happens, I want to say, what part of me was available for that? Because I've definitely gone through retrogrades and crazy things that were going on in the stars. And yet Rhama still showed up and slayed. I checked my co-star, and the other one that I have is called Nebula, which I love both of them. I check them every day, but I always look at it as something separate from me. Because sometimes, like the one that I had for today was pretty fucking gnarly. And I was like, Thank you, co-star, for letting me know how it could have gone. Now I'm going to choose and decide that it's going to actually be the opposite. It's actually going to be like, right? Like, and I'm not the astrology expert here, but what I do know is sometimes we, once again, use those things outside of us to tell us how our business is going to go, how our day or relationships are going to go. And I never give my keys. I never give my power over to anything, because my voice and the energy, the creative energy within me is stronger and more powerful than all of that, all of it. I appreciate and love those things like so much. They're super fun to me and I'm very involved in them. But whenever I disagree with something or I feel weird about something, I use it to transform. And I go, okay, regardless of what's happening in the stars right now, I'm going to use this for good, right? It's taking that bullshit and transforming it to gold. Taking something that was meant for rocky, chaos, destruction, weird vibes, and going, no, I'm going to transform this into something better, right? The better it gets, the better it gets, the better it gets. The better my life gets, the better my life gets, the better my life gets. The better my business gets, the better my business gets, the better my business gets. You feel where I'm going with this? I don't believe in it has to get worse before it gets better. I do not believe it gets worse before it gets better. I refuse to believe that sacrifice and suffering are necessary in any part of anything. I believe that it's getting better now, and I focus on how it's getting better. I put my energy into what I can do to make it better now, and I focus on that. The better it gets, the better it gets, the better it gets.